Yeah, what's up, guys? We're showing off some things, some cool things for the new one, the Plaguelands patch. We have a whole new faction. Fiona's Caravan from World of Warcraft. Blasphemous Cataclysm lore has replaced Alexandros Mograine. He is now for red, but that is a whole nother story. I just wanted to quickly go through of the maybe interesting or unique changes. Just because we just finished it, so I was like, you know what, this is a perfect time. Before I make everyone level 15, the general layout for this faction, first of all, the elites don't have a heal like typically is the case in more in the Plaguelands. So there's a lot more sustain distributed across the heroes so that you don't say have like your most important healing spell on one hero, you lose the hero, you can't heal anything because you don't have elites. And there are these two like special units. We can call them elites. They're mechanical. They're Caravan. And I'll actually go through them first because they're probably the I don't know the word, but basically how they work is they have mana that they do not regenerate, and they can only regenerate mana at like a designated refueling area, which is going to be like certain bases that they get or like life. So you have a finite amount of actions. So the one regular Caravan has like buffs, and these mana values might be adjusted, whatever actual values might be adjusted. And then I think this is supposed to have a mana value, but maybe not. I don't remember. An AoE speed up that. Yeah, I don't know. This is going on longer than I anticipated. It says 5 seconds. That was like 15. But we're gonna iron out the specific values later. The main Caravan has like a healing wave. It has like a blind and a roar. And the idea with these Caravans is that, one, you have a finite amount of actions, as I mentioned, until you need to go back and get more mana. Two, they're basically a form of utility to supplant the elites. So rather than the game traditionally having elites that have inner fire and bloodlust, whatever, you have to rely on these two guys. Now, they're not supposed to have an attack. I think they have attack activated right now. So that's another thing about them, is they're not going to be able to do damage. They're just literally like supposed to be chilling in the back. And purple won't have many or any other units because the concept is you micromanage a group of heroes and then these guys in the back. Anything more to micro, I think, would be a little too much multitasking. While we have Jonas in the chat, this whole concept was stolen. The Fellowship of the Ring, forgive me. Inspired by. So I'll go through, there's basically 3 kinds of heroes in this faction. Well, let's start with Fiona, which is kind of her own little thing. So she has a Worgen form and a human form. The Worgen form has 6 levels, and each ability has 3 levels. And when you level up one ability, you actually level up both abilities, like in each form. So for instance, level 1 is Mass and Snare, Blink Strike, and so I'm not gonna go through like what all the abilities do for every hero unless it's cool, and then I'll be like, oh, let's show this off. But this one is Fiona's definitely the most interesting. So, Mass Ensnare, Blink Strike, Aragorn E, like a healing scroll, Windwalk, and an aura. And then the Worgen form is supposed to give you buffs too, just for upgrading it. Right now we just have stats going, but you can get an idea of like what's planned. So first I'll show this off. Cool Worgen form. Ellie is very much welcome. Just wait till we do the Nazgul. The Nazgul or the next video. So let's show off level 1 of each ability. Mass Ensnare, so it's supposed to hit a hero and then a couple units around it. This is supposed to be like the most powerful spell. And then an aura. So another thing that I've done for this faction is that most of the abilities only affect the heroes of this faction. Because otherwise, if you have some aura that's like supposed to be for the faction, but also applies to like every other unit on the map, it could be OP. So right now, like for instance, I added, so her Worgen form is, there's Vampiric Aura, which might be fair, but I was inspired by Aragorn's E. That to me was, oh cool. Only affects heroes. What? How unique. But anyway, so a lot of the spells, auras, buffs, only affect the heroes. And I don't even think even its own units, but we'll come back to that. So, oh right, let's go back to the Worgen form. So, and then the aura is just like movement. So the human form is supposed to be kind of utility, as you can tell. A net, not heart CC. Heal, movement speed. And then the Worgen form, there's a Blink Strike, a Windwalk, which also gives you armor and Vampiric Aura. The other interesting part about Fiona is that he has max level bonuses for these two. So if you get Blink Strike to level 3, you can actually teleport to allies to get out. And this one's just kind of for fun, but if you get the Windwalk to level 3, not only does it make you invisible, give you armor, it also makes everybody invisible for 3 seconds. So if you were like some Chad-ass motherfucking Fiona's Caravan player, you could do some crazy play where you like make everybody invisible for, could even be 2 seconds, and maybe 3 seconds is OP. It's going to be a little OP because there's not much detection in the game, but that will be changed in time. So, Fiona, easily the coolest, and the obvious trade-off is supposed to be in human form, you have utility, you need to heal, whatever. In Worgen form, you deal damage. So, it doesn't get too much cooler than her. Argus is the other unique person, and if you're unaware of the Fiona's Caravan storyline from WoW, the idea is basically as an adventurer, she's like a quest giver, and you go around and you repair the towers in the Plaguelands, and all these people join you and whatever. So all these characters are from that, and the whole thing is designed around that loosely. Argus has abilities that interact with buildings. So, I mean, he has like this, he has an Impale, which is not a melee Impale, a Shockwave. This is the Crypt Lord armor. But we gave him a Bloodlust for towers, which may not be super strong right now, but perhaps there's a way to make it useful. And then his ultimate you can only use on Lightswept Chapel or Tears. And you actually get to summon units for that other faction. Stop. Now we're on to the core of the Caravan. Oh, he's also supposed to have an ability, which I will get to. I haven't done that yet. It's pretty easy. But if you lose one of these supply caravans, he'll be able to rebuild one. That's like going to be his innate. And it might even be like part of the, like one of these abilities might be replaced for that. But that's in the works. Because how else do you respawn it? I think Fiona's Caravan is going to be like, because it's sort of a special one. That one's not going to be resummonable. But the supply caravans literally just give buffs. So they're not like, they're a little more expendable, I think. Now onto the let me show off the mass net real quick right before. Because I'm ability grips. Forgot about it. Mass net. So you can only use the net on you can only trap one hero, so that you can use the net on a hero, but every other net will not hit a hero. So it's like you can't like mass trap hero. Just wanted to point that out. The core of the faction are these three heroes who have very paladin-esque appearances. From the Caravan, Gidwin Goldbraids, Terranos. So there's a pattern that I started for the Death Knights, which I'll go through in the next video, link, whatever, where traditionally in the game, the heroes have 3 abilities. And an ultimate. Oh, this guy's special. And then the rest of your ability points go into attributes. So usually, oh, that's right. That's because I. Usually you have one level ultimate abilities, 3 level regular abilities, 5 points. With these 3 dudes, maybe even the rest, maybe the whole. Yeah, I think actually everyone in Fiona's is designed like this. You have an attribute that has 3 levels. That's like a passive. Instead of that, attribute replacement. The ultimates have 2 levels at level 8 and 12. And each of the other abilities has 3 levels, except for Holy Light, which is the unique aspect. So you can read it. Basically, if you get Holy Light to level 4, you get like a bonus aura. And the reason why I wanted to try that out is because there's no reason to level Holy Light ever. Because no matter what hero you are playing, usually another ability is going to be better than a maxed out Holy Light. I guess there is some like odd and bad strategy where you max out Holy Light, but it's not really that good of a spell. But now, let's say you wanted to be a Chad, get 4 points in Holy Light, suddenly have Endurance Aura. Kind of like a path. A build. So I mean, kind of not consequential, but endurance aura, holy aura, devotion aura. These will be adjusted as needed, and then the rest of their abilities are not super notable. I mean, this guy has an avatar, like a mini avatar, and a single target nuke, thunderclap, stomp, speed. This is actually a single target silence. Well, attack like disarm. I guess this one is notable. I added some spirit links in the game. You see what happens with. So that's those guys. And then the last three heroes are event heroes. And so you start off the game with, I think it'll be Paranar, Talren, Fiona, and Argus. Because I was looking later, and there's actually a quest where you have to rescue Gidwin at some point. So originally I was going to have it that you have to like rescue Argus in order to get him in just like a first encounter creep fight. But that'll probably be Gidwin. And then there are other heroes you can get later on or completing objectives. One objective is killing Zaldair, which gives you Vex Tool. Zaldair, it's like some shit in the quest. And it's a hero for light blue. I think Beazle will spawn with some condition of Light's Hope Chapel. So let's say you get Fiona to level 8, and then you put Fiona in Light's Hope Chapel. Boom, you get Beazle. And then Pamela Redpath is probably the most relevant one because you would get her first for repairing Redpath. Sorry. And Vex Tool is not super notable ability-wise. Beazle is a little interesting because he has Goblin Landmine, which is not in the game. And then he has a repair. Like he has like a heal for buildings, which could be useful. He could just be strong. I mean, he has Barrage and he has 2 AoEs. He's always strong. And then Pamela's probably the last unique situation. She's always ethereal. Doesn't have any attack, which means you kind of have to micro her like Caravans. There's no point in having her anywhere close. She might I might add an attack for her. I don't know. It could be like a level 10. And so she's not meant to be super consequential. Like you're not supposed to like get another OP hero for claiming for repairing Dershire. And she has summon, useful, acid bomb, but in bear form, because like the quest in WoW is like get a teddy bear. Shit. Pamela throws her beloved but corrupted teddy bear at a target, spreading ghastly magic on impact. And I wanted to give her ethereal or banish, like the blood mage from Melee, but I'm not sure how strong it'll be. So maybe she'll have banish, but probably not in its current form. It could just cost a lot of mana, and then that's the thing with her is like it's just managing her mana. And then she'll have a single target silence. And that's about it for Fiona's Caravan. Oh, we got this guy. And then the last one is like if there's probably a single unit that they will get in some limited quantity just because I already made it in the past. And I was like, I mean, this is cool. Why not Oregon? And that's like a Caravan Guard that has 2 forms.
There's nothing more motivating than fighting with a bad hangover.
What?
Could you put some bonus points in my drinking skills?
This is an old... What? Okay, that's hilarious. I didn't know that. I didn't know that that played a sound effect. I love that. Clearly intentional. We're keeping that in. That's an Easter egg. Fuck yeah. So like this version of War in the Plaguelands is like one outdated. So there are some weird things that I noticed from the most recent 12 player. Like I actually had to add in this pass because there like just wasn't a pass here. Like uh-huh. But anyway, that was side. And then this unit's not supposed to be significant at all. He has like a non-hero net, Defiant Taunt, which is a ability I started adding in the game a while back, where you force units to attack and you actually get some armor, critical strike, shadow strike. So in the Worgen form, you get to deal some damage. Yada yada yada. So I think that's about it. Pretty much, I think I went through everything in detail. So as you can see, it's pretty much all done. There's a couple things that I need to come back and add up, but yeah, come play one of the Plaguelands. Death Knight's next. Like, follow, subscribe. Man, did I miss anything? Oh, I did.